Welcome. Please welcome.
The Outdoor Project Podcast. Hear real conversations from industry leaders on the latest in the hardscape and landscape industry. Brought to you by Seneca Landscape Supply. You're now streaming the Outdoor Project Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Outdoor Project Podcast. Today we're here in our Rochester location, sitting down with Steve Baird and Tim Hay with Yukon Valley Natural Stone. What's up, guys?
How are you?
How you doing, man?
Thanks for coming to sit down with us again.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
No video the last time, man. We had to get the pretty faces on this thing.
I got a face for radio, that's for sure.
Me too.
Yukon Valley Natural Stone. What do you guys bring to the table?
Yukon Valley Natural Stone is a large natural stone wholesaler. So we bring in a bunch of material from around the United States, and as well as a significant amount of imports. And we hold everything in Geneva, upstate New York, and disperse it from there.
When you say natural stone, so are we talking boulders? Are we talking like pavers that are natural stone? For anyone out there that doesn't know, what exactly are some of the products you guys are selling?
Oh, well, we've got your standard stuff like colonial wall stone and Pennsylvania field stone, pattern cut blue stone, and boulders, obviously. But then we also get into a lot of import stuff, brown stone, treads, black sandstone, chateau limestone,
There's a
bunch of different stuff.
wide
Yeah.
range
Yep.
of
We also do
products.
custom fabrication for countertops, mantles, hearths.
I know your company's grown a lot. And I know just with the two locations we have in upstate New York, we're doing numbers bigger than manufacturers with you guys.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're really, for us, we kind of took off all the wet cast products off of all our displays and started using all you guys' coping units, whether it be Cathedral wall caps, all your treads, your pillar caps, stuff like that, the three different colors, whether it be chateau, brownstone, black sandstone, Indiana limestone, blue stone. We took off all the manufacturers' caps and put your guys' stuff on it, and that's where we've seen the growth.
It's just changing the industry. There's a big change in designs in the industry.
Yeah, the steps,
Yep.
the 4 foot, 6 foot steps.
Yeah, all the manufacturers make a really nice retaining wall block, but I think it makes it look a lot nicer when you can put a one piece, whether it's 4 foot, 6 foot, or 8 foot tread on it with a nice rock faced edge. I think it really makes their walls look better as opposed to having concrete caps with those constant seams. Just the natural stone is a real nice finishing touch.
I know with our fabrication department in Geneva, we're taking a lot of your slabs. So a lot of guys are building radius walls, and we're taking a lot of your slabs, and guys are doing templates, or we can come out and template it for them. But, we're making those radius walls so they're not so angular with the caps. We're making those nice and fluid with our fabrication department. It's pretty
beautiful look.
amazing.
Yeah, there's really no limits too. I think I seen a picture yesterday. What did you guys make, a checkerboard
Yeah.
out of one of the pillar caps? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I put one on hold, the chess game.
Yeah, I've seen pyramid.
Well, they just did
top caps.
the spindles for which looked outstanding.
Yeah,
for
with the brownstone. We put that on the new
That was
Belgard.
really cool.
Yeah, the new Belgard display.
Yeah.
So you guys are a dealer then, or not dealer, but how many dealers do you have around the country?
Well, we're primarily focused up here in the Northeast is where the bulk of our distributors are located, but we have some in the Midwest and Ohio. We have a lot in Pennsylvania, and then you get into the Albany region. We've got a couple out there, and then Massachusetts, we have some, Connecticut. We're always looking to grow. If we see there's potential, for a new outlet somewhere, we're going to go and check it out and see what's around there and see if we have already some dealers set up around there. We're not looking to saturate the market, by opening up everybody. We kind of pick and choose who we would like to partner up with, but we're always looking to grow, and we have that ability to do that with our location in upstate New York.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys really let Sensenix kind of control the Rochester market, and we've done a really good job with your product. And you talked a little about saturating the market, you know what I mean? And I think you guys are going after some big guys out there, you kind of let us handle Rochester, and I know you got Buffalo and Syracuse and Albany, and then you're going, Erie and Ohio and stuff. But you guys are really, getting some big players right now on your side. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, when you start getting out towards the west, you can really start seeing quite a bit of the how the industry is changing. Natural stone is not only for like you had mentioned, like the concrete walls and things like that. When you're getting into a lot of the flat work, there you can inlays and quilting, and it's just changing the whole design aspects. It's really pretty cool. It's fun to see all this stuff coming together. It's really kind of nice to start seeing all the new products that are coming in, the colors, and especially when you get out through Erie and out to the west, how all those colors are changing. It's cool.
What's the most popular color, would you say, right now? I mean, you, like Joey was saying, you got brownstone, you got chateau, which is kind of grayish colors, Indiana limestone, tans,
that's
black.
all location.
Yeah.
Maybe you like you said, you get out towards the Albany area or even Syracuse area, using a lot of Indiana limestone, the black sandstone, pretty much you could see throughout. But I think that's all, dependent on the location and what they're seeing.
It's weird because I follow Instagram and I follow Semco out in Cincinnati and Columbus, and they're a big player, and I know you guys sell to them. Yeah. And their style was a little bit different than ours, but I see that black sandstone is getting more popular for them in those areas where I didn't think it was gonna, but you see it more and more, where Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, upstate New York right now, it came down from Canada, really. The European market, then it goes to Canada, comes down here, black is huge, and we sell a lot of black sandstone. And I was surprised how, obviously you guys are selling pretty good, but I'm surprised that it hit Semco already.
Right.
Yeah, they were they're growing that part, as far as their caps and treads and their offerings, and the black, they've dabbled a little bit. I think this year they're going to do a little bit more, but out in that area, you see a lot of yellows and browns.
The browns.
And, lighter grays. It's completely different than it is out here.
It seems like we want their stone in New York, and then they want our stone down there. So it's just this dualism. You know what I mean? I love
the
natural
manufacturers
stone.
are helping us because they're producing some solid black colors, and they're showing it in their catalogs for banding or borders or caps. Right. Most of the stuff is wet cast when it comes to capping walls, and we're not a huge fan of that, but they're helping us sell this black because they're all putting it in their catalogs. Everybody now has a solid black, whereas before you might have somebody had charcoal, but now they've got, I think Cambridge has a couple different colors of black or charcoal.
Yeah.
So that's helped us as well because they show a lot of it in their catalogs.
Well, wet casts fades, right?
Yeah.
And then there's another natural stone product out there from a competitor of yours that your guys is a black sandstone. And it might fade a little bit, but it fades towards a blue or a brown, just depending what vein it gets. But the black limestone from your competitor, it just definitely fades. It seems like it fades within a month.
It gets white. And I think that they're telling people when you buy it to seal it, to keep that color.
Okay.
We're not saying that. I think it would be nice if people sealed their stuff just to keep that nice dark color and protect the stone. But you have to with theirs because it almost turns white.
Yeah, and that stuff's not very durable either. I mean, I had a contractor bring that in, and he wanted us to rock those pieces, but it was just shelling off. It seemed like such a brittle stone.
No kidding. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
It was not holding up very well compared to our black sandstone.
Yeah.
Speaking of another product that we sold a lot last year was the Seneca boulder.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are making it so much easier for these contractors that are building retaining walls. I mean, a lot of our, I want to say, depreciation of products that we're selling were walls, manufactured walls. So a lot of guys are building walls with natural stone, boulders from quarries, and it was always difficult because of the heights.
Yes.
Now you guys brought to the table the Seneca boulders, where these are all they could either be saw cut or tumbled, but on the pallet they're all the same height, maybe random lengths, and guys are eating it up.
It's great look when you're what's on a lake or applications like that. But it's just a really nice look, seeing the natural side of it, and with the grays and the browns.
Yeah, you see it's primarily gray, but it does have some browns in it. So when you do a big wall, it really ties in well with the
ones we just got in. They got they're that standard gray, but they also bring that hint of brown in them too, which is really cool.
We do have some other colors that are available. We're primarily sticking with the grays, but that material, I think its tolerances are within a half an inch of each other.
Yeah.
Guys can just put a thumb on their mini excavator and just pick it up and put it in place, and you don't need as much geogrid because of the size of the block. You know, what makes a good wall is the mass of the unit. Those are pretty big units.
Like Joe said, I mean, we couldn't even keep that stuff in stock during our busy season last year. But you see guys, not even just for retaining walls. I mean, for retaining walls, it's so easy to stack and the tolerances that it's holding. But you also see these guys using them as like sitting boulders around natural fireplaces and stuff too, which is a unique look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the natural stone is just going to keep growing and growing. Another product that I love is your Cathedral wall.
Oh, isn't that nice?
The Cathedral wall, the chateau color. It's just gray, but you guys kind of took like, let's say, a manufacturer look or a kind of like a mold to a manufacturer and made it into natural stone. And we sold a lot of jobs with that last year. So it comes with what? It comes with
corners. It comes up, so you can build the columns with it.
End units, pillar
yeah, I
units.
don't think there's anybody else in the industry that has something like that. It's a natural stone, but it's, each unit, there's 4 different sizes. Each unit has a 90-degree corner and then has a tapered corner, each unit. So you can make radiuses. It's double-sided, so it looks the same on both sides. It comes in 3.5 inches or 7 inches. Comes in the brownstone color or the chateau limestone. We've got capping units. We've got 12 by 18 caps or 14 by 48 caps that go with it. But it's very similar to, let's say, a mini Creta, for instance, that has an end unit and has a taper on one side, and it's easy to make.
Yeah, I had a customer of mine last fall use chateau Cathedral wall, all 3-inch wall. And it was a radius wall. It was at one of the colleges. It came out so beautiful. They actually did the black sandstone radius caps on it too.
That looks sweet.
And what's nice about that wall, being natural stone, you're always questioning, is this stuff going to be the same thickness gauged? You know what I mean? And the tolerance is pretty tight on it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for natural stone, and it's made, overseas, and it's not manufactured in something that's climate controlled and lasers coming off the board, like at Cambridge or some of these other manufacturers.
Yeah.
It's some guys out in the field cutting and splitting, and it's really impressive considering where this stuff comes from, how accurate it is.
The genius thing about this product is some of the manufacturers, they never have an end unit. And I think it drives us nuts.
drives me nuts.
Drives you nuts. So if a guys want to end a sitting wall, double-sided, without a pillar, they always had to split those end blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So with a manufactured wall block, they end up with little slivers at the end. You know what I mean? And they never really thought it through.
Right.
Where the Cathedral wall is, you guys have a 3-sided end unit, 2 longs and 1 short that's rocked. So now they can end it with a full unit, cut a half unit, full unit, half unit. And it really is just a complete product for the industry, and it makes it easier for contractors.
It is brilliant.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know what these other manufacturers are waiting for in regards to those end units, because it makes the contractor's life so much easier.
Right.
They don't have to split anything. I mean, you guys constantly, they're like, what do I do with this end? Well, you got to split it or you got to chisel it. And they're like, I don't have either of those things. How the heck am I going to do this?
And then we have separate pillar units, which are just rock faced on 2 sides, 1 short and 1 long. And it makes, a 4-foot tall pillar. It's just flipping them around just like all the other manufacturers. So you have pillar units, and then you have end units, which, like Joey said, are rocked on 3 sides.
I like the size of the pillar, too. It's a 22 by 22 pillar. You use a 26 by 26 pillar cap.
Perfect.
It just seems like it's not too big. It's not too small. It's just, it's just engineered perfectly, I think, for the industry.
I've also seen some guys add the 3.5-inch units as a band. Yeah. And even concrete walls. Like they'll put up a large concrete wall, a manufactured block wall, and then 2 courses from the top, they put in a band of that 3.5-inch, usually it's chateau limestone, and it just is a real nice natural touch, and then they cap it with one of our treads.
What's the depth on that wall? Is it 8 or is it 10 inches?
8 inches.
8 inches.
Yeah, it's 8 inches. I like you talking about those inlays too. So that 22 by 20, or to do an inlay with a 22 by 22 inch pillar cap in the middle of that, and then a 26 by 26 inch pillar cap.
Looks great.
It, you get in that layer, you throw that 22 by 22 pillar cap in there, like a black on a chateau or something. Go a couple more layers with that 26 by 26. Like, it makes perfect. And you guys probably sell a lot of 22 by 22 pillar caps because of that.
We do. We have got a lot of 22 by 22 pillar caps. We move quite a bit of those.
Yeah, 22s, 24s, 28s are all big for us. And
so do you guys focus more on the imports, you think, or do you think, as a stand-up irregular flag, your Pennsylvania, your colonials, is that still your most popular products, or is the imports taken over?
I think, our leaders are the domestic stuff, the Pennsylvania bluestone, the field stone pallets and colonial wall. Those are our leaders. That's what's been around for so long, and that's what most people think of when it comes to natural stone. But, we have an exclusive with this black sandstone that nobody else can get in the United States. So it's a nice lead way in if we're trying to look at a dealer, prospect new dealers. We have something that nobody else has. But we always start with our domestic stuff. Everybody's familiar with bluestone, so that gets us in the door. And then all these imports are just, icing on the cake.
It seems like every year you guys are bringing something new to the table. And I know for us, kind of being exclusive in Rochester over the last couple of years, we used to sell a lot of Pennsylvania, a lot of colonial. But your New York fieldstone has really taken over.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, because the reason why we used to get a lot of complaints with the Pennsylvania and the colonial because there was so much waste.
Right.
The guys get done and they're like, man, it's just pallet full of junk.
It seems like they were tricking you almost, where you'd see the pallet and the whole outside of the pallet was perfect pieces, and then once you broke into the middle, it was like they just threw
There are a lot of places like that out there, and we have gone through different quarries because, we've gotten some of that stuff over the years. And when we hear a complaint, we go down, we talk to the quarry owner, and if we look at their stuff and there's more of it like that, then we switch and we go to somebody else. But that does happen down there. It's not ideal working conditions.
Yeah, no.
The pay is probably not great.
I would say so.
So that New York fieldstone's really taken over. There's not a lot of waste in it.
Right.
The 1 to 3 inch or the 4 to 6 inch, there's not. And a lot of guys have it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But they're willing to take that risk on the expense for a better product.
you're using the whole pallet.
They're using the whole
100%.
pallet.
Yep.
Another cool product too that just started coming around is your gauged irregular stand-up flagstone.
Isn't that cool?
It's so
amazing.
cool because that stuff's already a headache. There's a lot of guys that enjoy using that, but I think you having this thickness that's going to be consistent now all the way through, it's going to make a lot of guys happy.
And that's a product. When Steve talks about going into different markets, is all over the place. You go to the Midwest or to the South, guys like thin material because most of it's getting mud set. You go up to this area in the Northeast, guys like that thicker 1.5 2 inch thicker. They're whacking in a mallet. It's sand set. But we sell a lot of the thinner product out in the Midwest.
Yeah, it seems like guys, they won't go under 1.5 inches here because that risk of breaking just stepping on it.
A lot of that around here is all, mud set, not mud set. It's all sand
set. Yep.
You start, like you said, you're starting to get out into the Midwest areas, and these guys all want that 1 inch, putting it on concrete. Mm-hmm.
You guys are supplying the PA stand-up, though, and it's pretty consistent. I mean, we really have a good product with you guys, but I think, like Chris said, that new thermal gauged irregular that guys are laying, kind of cutting it in place. It gives you a real nice natural look.
Yeah.
And
again, like the New York fieldstone, we get guys that are switching from the PA to this. It costs a little bit more money, but it's very unique. They don't have to rescreed. What I mean? They lift it up. There's not much messing around with it.
Right.
We talk about the PA. We haven't talked about all the other different colors you have in the stand-up flagstone too. I mean, you got Black Hills, you got the lilac,
You got Tennessee,
and it's just beautiful. Some of that stuff when it's
gorgeous. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, the Black Hill stand-up, whether it be the tan or the gray.
Oh, some beautiful colors in that.
We got Collie Pools in Buffalo that, they build pools and they build, all their design and builds. And they're using that on every single job.
Beautiful?
It's amazing.
Gorgeous.
sometimes you see these products and you wonder what they're going to look like. And these designers have their own ideas.
Right.
So we're shipping this Black Hills to Buffalo, and I just wanted to see what they were doing with it. They were cutting it up in little pieces, and that's what they are using for all of their pool and spa copings.
The copings.
Yeah, and you could look on our Instagram and see all the images.
Wow,
but
it's going to be beautiful.
the first time I showed up to a job site and seen it, I was like, wow, this is what they did. I mean, just the imagination, the color of that Black Hills just really stood out.
Takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work.
yeah.
Natural stone in itself takes a lot of
With
work.
Coping, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's why we saw so many treads.
Yeah, but these guys, the manufacturers of natural stone, the quarries, they're competing against concrete. So they're trying to make it so that the tolerances are, not off the chart like normal natural stone. The tolerances, the heights are vary, but with this cathedral wall, that's consistent, 3.5 inch, 7 inch pieces. The Seneca boulders, they all come within a 1/2 inch tolerance. We've got Ohio chunks, another similar product to the Seneca boulders. All these, they're large boulders that are within a 1/2 inch tolerances. So concrete manufacturers are trying to make their stuff look natural. The natural guys are trying to make their stuff consistent like the concrete guys are.
Yeah, and I think
That's a good
that's just
point.
probably for the ease of the contractor, I would imagine. Because
Sure.
everybody likes to install natural stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, do they have it in their budget?
Right.
Right.
Because of the labor. And if you guys are doing a good job bringing things to the table where that kind of just depletes that, you know what I mean? It's making it easier for them where they didn't have to add that into the budget, because now, like you said, with the Seneca boulders, whether it be the tumbled or the sawn, they're just laying their base course and stacking from there.
Yep.
With equipment.
Yeah.
I think there's such an ease too, going back to the treads. I mean, just think about steps instead of
Right.
having
Caps.
that are just 12 inches wide. Now you can put, depending on how wide those steps are, you could just use one full unit, and you don't have to worry about getting callbacks from that homeowner saying, "Oh, my cap is
Splitting.
loose," and people are falling on it because it keeps flopping. So I think you see more and more guys using treads as their landings.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got a big,
And it looks nicer.
we have a wide selection. We've got treads, that come 12 inches deep up to 22 inches deep. And then, we've got slab material that is 24 or 48 inches by 8 foot. So there's a wide range of different tread depths, and then lengths. We do 4-footers, we do 6-footers, we do 8-footers. Some stuff we've got 10-footers in. So the contractor has a lot more options now as far as the tread depth and the look, rock face or a smooth edge on it, or a bullnose. We can bullnose treads.
And they'll use a lot. I see a lot of guys using the treads as an inlay in the walls as well. As you were talking about the cathedral wall, they'll be popping in that black or that brown or that chateau into the walls, and also on the columns. Really just ties everything together once you start putting your pure caps on, or your steps, or the treads for the steps.
Another thing we don't talk about is a lot of people are using those treads for mantles and hearthstones for inside their houses too. You could seal this product to kind of give it a different matte finish, or kind of contrast the color a little bit, which is really nice.
Yeah, the sizes too, like you said, for the mantles and hearths, they range. You know what I mean? It's nice that you guys do carry up to 24 inch. So we really can. A customer brings it in and says they need an 18 or 19 inch hearthstone, cut down to 74 inches. We do that in house with the fabrication, but a lot of your competitors are only bringing 18 inches to the table. And you guys have a wide variety of products that we can inventory that makes it easier for us.
Yeah, big time wide range. Plus also with slabs, slabs are typically 4x8 sheets of stone, and we carry those in 2-inch thick. We'll go 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch. I mean, we've got slabs that range from 2 inches thick all the way up to 8 inches thick. So some guys like 7-inch steps. Some guys prefer 6-inch steps. So if you like a 7, we can manufacture 7 out of our 7-inch thick slab material.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no limit to if someone wants to think outside the box and wants something different than the next. I mean,
I had
it's
a
not hard
guy,
to find.
contractor last year was doing a fireplace, and not only did he, all the black was on the mantle, he had all the 4x8 tumbles for the inlays around the fireplace, but took a 6-inch step, and that was That's what he created the
mantle.
The mantle with. Cut it down. Of course, you had the pier caps up top, but it was just really cool how he put that together using that step. It wasn't light. Putting that
that's
up.
another thing.
There's nothing light about natural stone.
We haven't talked about steps. I mean, you guys have also, just like treads, steps that come in 4, 5, 6, and 8 foot lengths, 6 inches thick, ranging 15 to 18 inches in depth.
Yeah, we've developed these collections. We call them the North Country collections, and what they are, they're products that you can get flagging in, pillar caps, step treads, slabs, steps. So you can go from like brownstone pattern cut for the flooring to a brownstone 6-inch step with a rock-faced edge, to pillar cap of brownstone, to a tread of brownstone. And then if you had an outdoor kitchen and you needed a little island cooking, we've got brownstone slabs that we can fabricate. So we have these North Country collections in the black sandstone, Indiana limestone, Chateau limestone, and brownstone. So I think there's 5 collections, and it's flagging all the way up to slabs. So you can get those accent pieces on your jobs will all match. Whereas with the concrete manufacturers, they're wet cast, they make a cap. They don't make a flooring that matches that, or they don't make a pillar cap that matches that, or you can't do a countertop with that. So the wet cast is typically a cap, and your other accent pieces, a soldier course, whatever, can't match that. So our North Country collections are flagging all the way up through slabs. Everything matches.
Yeah, so your pillars.
Yep.
If you want to do black sandstone pillar caps, black sandstone caps for your walls, black sandstone pattern cut for your pavers.
Step.
Yeah, black sandstone for your bar or grill, your black sandstone tops for that. I mean, you can do that. Then you could do whatever underneath it, chateau or whatever. Right. I know that job in Holland was a really big job. We did Cathedral wall, all chateau. We capped everything, and the steps were in black. Then the entire patio, I think 4,000 or 5,000 square feet, all in chateau. Everybody loves the grays and blacks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was just beautiful, and how you can put it all together just with your line. You know what I mean? You can get it in every part of that. Yeah. So it really works really well. I think those steps too. We were talking about those steps. Really took over the industry. Remember, 10 years ago they came out with wet cast steps, and I think the biggest problem with the wet cast steps was, and like you said, Steve, nothing's light.
No,
you do you're doing a hill transition coming down, and you got 15 steps, and in the middle, for some reason, those wet casts always cracked.
Always.
And then then you had the contractor saying, "Now what do I do? Who's going to pay for my labor to take? Yeah, who's going to pay for my labor to take these two?" Not saying natural stone is flawless, because it has its flaws, but the durability of those steps and the confidence that the contractors have with it, the transition from wet cast to natural stone was easy.
I mean, if the natural stone, if it chips on the face of a rock face, you don't notice it. Whereas with the wet cast, if it chips, you see aggregate. Then you're calling the rep. The rep has to come out there with some paint to touch it up if they can do it, if it's not that bad. And again, you're limited your colors. You're limited your colors. You're limited your sizes with wet cast steps.
A lot of times with natural stone, that's what's so nice about it is, like you said, if the face chips, that's fixable. Whether that be someone coming in and having to rethermal it, or come in with a chisel and kind of just rock face it to touch it up. You can make something look brand new real quick.
We do some field adjustments sometimes. If we fabricate something, countertop or whatever, and somebody installs it, and maybe their measurements were off, we've got a guy that we can send out in the field and make field adjustments, whether it's thermaling, rock facing, cutting, polishing, anything.
I had a customer of mine text me over the summer. He sent me a picture of one of the black sandstone treads that had like on the top, you know how when you chisel it gives you a nice straight look, kind of had a chunk taken out of it. He's like, "Can you come and replace this?" I'm like, "I'll just be right there. I'll fix it in 5 seconds." He's like, "No, you definitely got to replace this. It's bad." I go there with the hand chisel. I kind of just go throughout the whole thing and rock it, and it looked brand new again.
Fantastic.
Like, that's what's so nice about it, is you're not wasting material, and you don't have to throw that whole piece out. That's kind of the point I'm getting to.
Yeah.
The point I'm getting to, and you're amazing.
Well, that too. But.
Besides your hair, you are an amazing craftsman. But you're right. I mean, you think about a wet cast. You're trying to end a wall, right? You're a contractor. We're all been You know what I mean? Wet cast. What do you do with the ends?
Right.
With natural stone, you rock the ends. Or, you got a double-sided wall. Most of your treads, if you want 8 foot, you got to rock the other side. But you can.
Yeah.
You can rock them.
You can do anything.
You make a mistake, you cut it, and you do it again.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You're not doing that with wet cast.
No, you're not doing that with wet cast. So I think that's the best thing about Yukon Valley and what you bring to the table.
And
with
it's
natural
fun
stone.
to see it all come together and how natural stone has just become, and it's changed the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you're accessorizing the jobs with concrete, or really just adding in a lot more of the boulders and natural stone. It's fun to see.
A lot of manufacturers are starting to carry their own natural stone. Yeah. They now are carrying some treads and caps, and then you're getting into the tile, for flooring, the porcelain, which is, in essence, a natural stone.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Right.
There's a question we get a lot here when it comes to sealing. Would you recommend staying away from sealers when it comes to these products, like your treads and your steps?
Personally, I think it depends on the application, but I'm pro sealing. I think it just it will protect the stone. It protects the stone.
Enhances the color.
Right. Yeah. It protects the stone. It enhances the color. You're making an investment in your outdoor living area, and you've spent money on good quality products. I would think that you would want to protect it. Whether it's your siding or your roof, you do some maintenance to it, and I think sealing it is something that helps protect the investment that you've made.
Besides the look too. I mean, you guys are doing a lot. We're doing a lot. Contractors are doing a lot of barbecue areas,
yes.
Outdoor kitchens and stuff. And it, with all your slabs and countertops, whether it's a wet look or just a natural look, you really need to protect it, whether it be the flooring or the countertops. I mean, with the wine and grease and everything. Yep. Maybe if it's even just that area, I think sealing is important. And I think natural stone is just like concrete. You can seal it. There's no different effects or anything. You can seal natural stone just like you do anything else.
Yeah, just make sure you're using a natural stone sealer.
Using the correct one. Don't just go to your Home Depot and
go to your landscape supply place, and hopefully they can educate you and steer you in the direction of the proper sealer that you use for natural stone.
And we did a lot of testing here at Seneca too. So I think we have it down on what sealers work if you want to color enhance, what sealer is going to work if you're just protecting it. So the fabrication department came up with them. They've been testing it for years now.
Right. Yeah. Every stone is different. It's going to suck in the sealer differently. So you got to make sure before you put a sealer on there that you are using the correct one.
Yeah.
And you're talking about different stones too. We talk about rocking. And a lot of these contractors, out there learning how to rock and chisel and stuff like that. And every stone is different. So your Chateau rocks a little bit differently than the black sandstone. Black sandstone rocks a little bit differently from the Indiana limestone. So it really takes these guys to take a few times to rock this stuff and get familiar with the product.
Yep.
What do you guys have planned for 2020?
Right now we are currently, meeting with our dealers, and we've been talking about our early buy programs, and we are focused on bringing in more import material. So we have proper inventory levels to accommodate everybody that we have as a dealer. So we're working on that.
We got some educational trainings coming up, or some product knowledge trainings that we've had set up. It's show season now. Now we're out there just trying to get the material out in front of everybody, get our brochure out there, do some education.
You guys I know you guys, we love having you here because you guys do those cookouts in the summertime.
Aren't those nice?
And I must say, you guys bring the best food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how many people we get when we get...
ridiculous,
I know everybody's hungry about noon, but man, you guys put on a big show out there. Now, I know...
Got to do the sausage and peppers.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll tell you right now, he does it the best. The hot sausage, it's the only way to buy sausage.
Yeah, because Chris is picky, man. Every time, sometimes we get some guys cooking out here, and Chris doesn't like eating from everybody.
No, Steve's got it down packed. He knows when he goes to BJ's, he knows exactly what he's got to get. He's in a mission. He goes and gets everything, comes back. We're stocked. We go and we put up our tent, and we borrow one of your grills, and we cook out for a couple hours, and it's unbelievable the amount of people that it attracts. It really is. It's unbelievable.
Anytime you have free food, you're going to attract people.
It's a great event, though. We enjoy it. We get to see a lot of the contractors in one spot, get to support the dealer, and
you guys make us look good.
It's just
really
it's just
do.
fun.
Yeah, it's
you
great.
know?
And I know it's beyond Sensening, so you guys are really going to be busy on the road. I know you guys cook out everywhere, but you guys are going to be really busy this summer cooking out at all these other places and all the dealers.
You'll be on the road. You guys are on the road every day.
We're on the road a lot. You know, we try to probably go on the road 3 days a week, you know, so that we both have families, so we've got to spend some time with the families. But if you see a couple big brown Dodge 3/4 tons driving down the road with Yukon Valley all over it, make sure you honk and say hello. And if anybody's interested in knowing more about the line, be sure to reach out to us. And if they're interested in having a cookout, we're all for it.
Yeah, besides you guys being so good looking and wearing the best outfits, dude, that logo and those two trucks.
Isn't that nice?
I mean, when you guys pull into a place, how professional it is, and you guys hold that professionalism with Sensenings, and I'm sure beyond Sensenings and stuff. But man, when you guys pull in for those cookouts with those two trucks and put up those logos, man, besides the product, you guys look good, man.
Spent a lot of time on the job sites too, really just supporting the contractor and seeing what they're doing, getting some really good ideas on, like you were talking about with the Black Hills out in Buffalo. It's just, I love being on the job sites and really seeing what these guys are putting together.
Yeah, that's important for you guys. I mean, you guys are really not only talking to the dealers, but you guys are actually steering those contractors and talking to those contractors, what's trending, talking about your product, and then driving those contractors to the dealers. So there's not a lot of manufacturers out doing that, you know what I mean? And I think you guys have a strong hold on that.
We're contractors, and I think that's where a lot of manufacturers reps start, is in the contracting business. So I was a contractor, I had a business, Steve was a contractor, he had a business. So we both are passionate about it. We both are interested in seeing what guys are doing, and if we can add anything of our experience or our knowledge, try to help somebody out, whether it's with natural stone or concrete. We're both from the concrete business or industry, so we know a thing or two about paving stones and retaining walls, as well as the natural stone.
That's what I was gonna say. You guys been in the industry. I mean, you guys
long time.
not only contractors, but then you guys sold concrete, and then just found that natural stone was a lot more beautiful than concrete. So you started capping all your concrete with natural stone.
When I was younger, we used to go in the quarries and we spend 2 days in there picking all the stone, all the riprap, take it to the job, unload it, put it together. And how the owner of the company, Tony, how he made money is beyond me, because we spent so much time getting it. But it's just mind-boggling how things have changed.
My only memory of natural stone when I was in business was it was pattern cut bluestone, but it was all different thicknesses. So it was always such a freaking headache.
Yeah.
Anytime you had to set this stuff, field stone for walls is like, geez.
The industry's changed so much.
Natural stone's been around a long time.
Yeah.
But it's changed so much.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my 40th year in the business. 40 years this year. And
wow, you look good.
When I was 13, I started when I was 13, and we used to, like I said, we used to go in these quarries in the middle of the summer, hot as hell, trying to pick this stone. But it's just fun how it's starting to see, and then all of a sudden the concrete came, how that's changed, and now really a lot of this
40 years, man. That's longer than I've been alive. So
really,
I've been in the game a while.
Started when I was 13 in this business.
Wow.
And so I know you're young, but they make thermal gauge now. And we sell a lot of it.
Right? We don't have to go pick that.
They do a good job, because that stuff is pretty much dead on. I mean, it's it's
Again,
pricey.
it's natural stone, and
but
it's not manufactured in perfect conditions and heated warehouses, and it doesn't come off an assembly line with lasers and guys checking every height. It's done in the field, but for the most part, our thermal gauged bluestone is pretty much dead nuts. It's
and the
really
quality's
nice.
beautiful.
The quality's fantastic.
To be honest with you, I kind of like the full color better
than
the true blue, because when these guys lay it, I know, let's just say a couple contractors, I don't want to name any names, but man, they show us the products on Instagram or Facebook afterwards. Wow. For me, the full color
is
just
the way to go.
Yeah, and then you can use whatever with that. You can use black caps, you can use brown caps, you can use bluestone caps, or full color. I mean, it just gives you such a wide range spectrum of color. Right. You can use any of your caps with it on the walls. So
we've got some tumbled thermal gauged bluestone. So it comes in. We've got 6x6s, 6x9s. 9x12s, 12x12s, I think 18x18s, and you can do a nice random installation that looks like pavers, but it's tumbled bluestone. It's a really beautiful,
like a herringbone or something like
do
that,
anything you
or
want.
running
Yep.
bonds. Yeah,
Yep.
those are really nice.
Yep, it's really nice.
I love herringbone product. You guys are all over social media. I mean, you got a website. What is
YukonValley.com.
you guys are on Instagram, Facebook, so they could find you all on that.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to say before we cut this?
No, I hope people listening will, give Natural Stone an option when they're designing, their projects. Take a look at all the offerings that we offer, as well as, some other places. Go to YukonValley.com. All of our products and descriptions are listed on there. Check with your, local landscape supply place. See if they're carrying Yukon Valley Natural Stone. If not, maybe tell them they should look into doing that. And, we're accessible by phone or email or texting.
I'm not on Facebook, but I follow you guys on Instagram, and I love that one commercial with it shows the quarry, it flies over the quarry, and that guy's voice. I don't know who you hired for that guy's voice, but it's pretty amazing.
You'd have to talk to our unbelievable marketing guy.
Yeah,
he does a good job.
Okay,
He does a good
all
job.
right,
You can find out from him.
All right, sounds good.
Well, thanks for sitting down with us today. Anyone out there, make sure to check Yukon Valley Natural Stone out when you get a free moment. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
Rough, smooth, boulders, beautiful stone. Acres of it, and selected from the source for superior quality, custom on-site cutting, and expert knowledge. In stock and ready to ship. Find out more at YukonValley.com.